Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Stonewall's life. Now I'm only back for a short one this time, but as you know, over the weekend we had the big Power Struggle tour show, and oh my god, for the first time since, I think excluding Wrestle Kingdom, since the pandemic started, we had a full wrestling card. We had 9 matches, including 5 title matches, 6 title matches maybe, and I just thought, it seems like things are finally getting back to normal with New Japan, and I thought, let's have a quick review of everything that went on, because some big things happened. On the road to Wrestle Kingdom, some very important things were taken into consideration. And since the lineup for Best of Super Junior and World Tag League have not yet been released, I thought, let's get this done and see what's going to happen going into those tournaments. So let's get going. As expected, we had a few warm-up starter matches. They were great. I saw my guy Doki, hey Doki, I saw some Young Lions, we saw Makabe, Tiger Mask, things like that. It was all a nice little warm up. It got the crowd excited, it got me excited, and it really was the perfect way to warm up for these big title matches that were coming, and they came in abundance. The first title match we had was the trio of Chaos members, so the longest reigning never openweight title holders with Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto and Ishii, versus, I will not mention their names because unspeakable, the House of Torture trio. Yeah. Going into this match, I had my fingers, toes, everything crossed for the Chaos trio. It's for the first time in history since I started watching New Japan I was voting against Sho, because I'm still bitter about everything that he did. And it seemed that they were doing quite well. They were managing to balance the tactics and sort of resist the cheating of the Bullet Club trio. So guys like Gato, obviously Evil, even Sho. And they were showcasing why they are probably, maybe apart from the members of LIJ, one of the strongest trios in terms of bonds, friendship, and sort of this in-ring chemistry that they can work with each other, against each other, and only comes from years of friendship. Now, in particular, I have been loving Goto and Yoshihashi tagging together, and hopefully they will be together during World Tag League. And this showed with their tandem offense, which is unlike anything I've ever seen in the recent months, especially considering these guys, not like Tamatonga and Tangaloa, not like guys like Sanada and Evil were in the past, they are singles wrestlers at the heart. Obviously, after resisting the Bullet Club shenanigans, it could only go so far, and after the ref got pulled out to avoid a 3 count on Evil, Evil got his own back with the help of Sho and a spanner. Yeah, you know how this happened. Once again, Bullet Club had to ruin one of the best things going for New Japan in the never 6-man titles. However, at the end, when Sho decided to be a cocky-ass bastard and come out with a spanner and some weapons, after what seems like forever, Yo came out dressed all in white to save his Chaos Brothers. With Best of Super Junior coming up, that is going to be a huge thing, but I'm just glad he's going to come back and hopefully get some retribution over Sho, who's gone down in my list and makes me sad whenever I wear my Roppongi 3K t-shirt. The next title match was for the King of Pro Wrestling title, and it was random as hell. It was a proper amateur wrestling bout, so at the start we had Mati Asami, Kenta Sato and Yuji Nagata come out, and Nagata, obviously as a very big ambassador of amateur wrestling, came out and told us the rules. Me being the silly person I was, didn't check on the New Japan site, didn't really understand what was going on, so went along with it as it happened. But Yano and Great Okan came out in amateur wrestling gear. In the end, Yano won with, I think it was 6 points to 5. We actually got to see some proper wrestling from Yano, because people forget that yes, Okan was a great amateur wrestler, but so was Toru Yano. And this has showcased another side to the title and to Yano, and who knows what's going to happen in the lead up to Wrestle Kingdom. So the first match on this section was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight match between El Desperado and Robbie Eagles. Personally, I was excited for this match because I've said this time and time again, Eagles and Despy are 2 of the most diverse junior wrestlers in the world. Yes, they can do submission wrestling, they can do strikes, but they're also high flying, and we saw this in the match. They both came out like very proud, very determined, especially going into the Best of Super Junior. And oddly enough, normally the guys have a feeling out pit and then they start targeting body parts. From the very beginning, both Robbie and Despi targeted each other's knee, which is obviously a setup for the Ron Miller special and the numero dos submissions. But every single time that some of them attacked the leg, it seemed to give them more energy. At one point, Desperado did a flip outside the ring, and I said this before, like, Despi is an amazing submission guy because he's a member of Suzuki-gun, and you don't see this often, but he did, and it showed how much he wanted the title. Similar with Robbie, he contrasted this very high-flying style that we love from the junior division, but also what he is known for, which is his strikes and his submissions, which come from years of training, because he is a veteran, as much as he's very much still quite new to New Japan. To the world of wrestling, second to none. In the end, with no cheating, I'm going to confirm this, because in the past, we know Suzuki-gun likes to play a bit dirty, but once again, they've showcased why they are the premier faction, the premier heel faction in New Japan, because Despi won clean. And as much as I loved Robbie Eagles and his title reign, I love Despi, and I think it was the right decision going into Best of Super Junior. And also, it's only his first reign, so I think he's going to have plenty to come. We then had a match the feud started back in the G1, and it's generally just been tumbleweeding since. It is Hiroshi Tanahashi, the most handsome man in the world, versus Kenta for the IWGP US Championship. Again, going into this match, Tanahashi's Tanahashi. He beat Moxley for the title, he defended it the last time, and now Kenta wanted a taste of it. After being, obviously we know his history with the title and Moxley. Now, as expected, the match started where Kenta was trying to play off Tanahashi, getting out of the ring. At one point, Tanahashi did his air guitar, threw it to Kenta, Kenta did an air violin, threw it back and then beat him up. But just like Despi, at the essence of it, it was a pretty clean match. Both guys were putting everything into it, and in particular, you all know the moment where Kenta brought the table out. At first, I wasn't sure what was going to happen because there seemed like a lot of false moves, so Tanahashi rolled off the table, Kenta moved off the table. However, I don't know why he did this, but it's Tanahashi, isn't it? He did a tope suicida off the top of the turnbuckle and broke the table with Kenta on it. Now, you know how hard these tables are. It's almost impossible to break. But it did, and that's how intense the match was. In the end, after a lot of counters and going backwards and forward, Kenta finally hit the go to sleep on Tanahashi to get the win. I think it's the right thing to do because, yes, Tanahashi's not held it for that long, but Kenta needs this breakout moment. He needs to hold IWGP Gold to cement his status as a top guy in New Japan. However, going into Wrestle Kingdom, there's going to be a huge target on his back. Anyone and everyone will try to pin him just to get a big shot at the Tokyo Dome. Now, talking about the Tokyo, check out, did you see that transition? We next had the match for the rights holder certificate for the Tokyo Dome contract. I don't know if I even said that right. But after Okada went almost unbeaten in the G1, Tama Tonga broke that streak and was therefore given the chance to fight for this contract right. And, you know what? I just keep saying it. It was another amazing match. We had amazing match after amazing match after amazing match. Once again, and I'm not repeating myself, but I need to say it, like with Kenta, like with El Desperado, it was a clean match. Yes, Gato was on the outside, but like in the G1, Tama Tonga fought as clean as it was. Okada came out with his IWGP belt again. Bloody beautiful, I can tell you that. I bloody miss it. But they came out and gave us a match that was literally the epitome of both guys. Speed, athleticism, and just this unrivaled passion for the sport. We saw the guys running, obviously, these amazing drop kicks, these amazing strikes. They obviously took it to the outside, but for me, the standout point, and go and watch it if you haven't, is the finishing part of it. There was counter after counter, so Tama Tonga hit a tombstone by reversing Okada's own. Then each time Tama was trying to go for his gun stun, Okada kept managing to find ways out of it. But with Tama reversing it again, just couldn't get that Rainmaker. It wasn't until the final minutes or the final seconds where Okada hit his patented tombstone after Tama Tonga had done it and got the Rainmaker for the win. It was another match that I think is just cemented. Like I said this with Tangaloa. Yes, Tama Tonga is an amazing like tag team wrestler and has been for years. He is an amazing singles wrestler as well. And in the future, yes, he didn't get that rights contract like certificate. But if he continues doing this singles, I can see IWGP Gold in his future. But yeah, that means Okada has technically now finished the G1, got all retribution over Tama, and has no more opponents for the contract. Unless somebody manages to pin him from now to January. The final match was one I was looking forward to. Like, my family had plans for the day, but I went, until Shingo versus Zach Saber Jr. is finished, we are not going anywhere. And was I right to be excited? Now, this is the first time since 2018 that Zach Saber Jr. has had an IWGP World Heavyweight title shot after he won the G1, pretty much back when he first came into the company. This is the best he's looked in years. With help from Taichi in the tag division, his amazing streak in the G1, it just seemed like amazing. Even in an interview that I read on New Japan 1972, he said, well, they asked him, they said, the last time you got a title shot was after the G1 and you submitted, I think, several guys in a row. Similarly, this happened now. In the G1, he submitted many people in a row and he got his title shot. Unfortunately, if you watched it, you'll know Zach didn't win, but the match itself was another, like, it was spectacular. It moved on from the G1 match, which was basically just a case of Zach wanting to get retribution from his 2009 match with Shingo in Germany. And now it was about becoming the second British IWGP champion in history. And he was putting everything in. The match went over 30 minutes. They were putting in like strikes, submissions. Again, I'm going to say this, Zach has been doing some pretty high-flying stuff. He'd be doing things off the top rope that the Japanese commentary team would name, and it would be in Mexican. So obviously I can't remember it because it's me, isn't it? But it showcased that, yes, he's in the past said, oh, I'm not a flippy guy, like, I don't do this, I'm submission-based. But he's learned to adapt to the wrestlers. Similarly with Shingo, put on his strength, his speed, and his determination. He was like, I'm not losing this title so close to Wrestle Kingdom. Like, this is my chance and I'm going to do it. And he did in the end with a Last of the Dragon. He finally got the win. Which is funny because both guys were sort of attempting to do their finishes very early on. So Zach hit the Zack Driver. Shingo hit, I think, the Noshigami made in Japan, and I think he might have hit the Last of the Dragon. But due to exhaustion in the match, neither of them could capitalise. So it took until right near the end for Shingo to hit that finisher and get the win. Now, I found it touching that literally as soon as the match finished, Taichi, who was on commentary, amazingly passionate throughout, like, go and watch it in Japanese commentary because love you, Taichi, ran out to make sure that Zach was okay. And it was just the perfect way to end it. Like, I'm sad Zach didn't win, but it was the right choice. And then obviously Okada came out and was like, me, you, Wrestle Kingdom. And that's where we are finishing now. It was an amazing show, considering it is the first full-length one since the pandemic. Obviously it's doing Wrestle Kingdom. It was amazing. There were some amazing matches. You got to see loads of wrestlers. And it's a really nice build-up going into Best of Super Junior and World Tag League. Whatever is going to happen through there. And an amazing look on to Wrestle Kingdom in January. That's my video for today. Let me know what you thought of the show. Is there any storylines going forward that's going to stand out? Any matches you loved? Let me know in the comments below and share with me your thoughts on social media. So at wrestling_chat on Twitter. Remember to hit that subscribe button, like, share, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!